Hey everyone, I'm starting a new series on the channel where I'll cover monthly transit updates across Canada. The goal of this series is to track major progress of transit expansion or large investment in public transit all over the country. If you have any suggestions for this series or anything I missed this month, leave a comment down below. Starting off 2025, annual budgets have been up for review, and with election season starting to kick off in Ontario, some new election promises focused on reducing congestion are being proposed. Before we get to the big news of January, we'll be highlighting some of the smaller transit news across the country. The federal government is providing Translink and OC Transpo with a combined total of $843 million over the next 2 years to improve, maintain, and upgrade the system. A great step in better transit funding, and something Toronto could really benefit from. Groupe Porter has been awarded the contract for planning and oversight of the Gatineau-Ottawa Tramway project, and Amtrak and Via Rail are currently exploring bringing back rail service between Detroit and Windsor, which would allow for train trips between Chicago and Toronto. Ontario's provincial government announced that the under-construction Hazel-McCallion LRT and Peel region will have a tunneled extension further into Brampton and a downtown loop in Mississauga. Both are currently being studied by the province. Ontario's provincial government is still moving ahead with their misguided removal of bike lanes in Toronto. Stantec Consulting was awarded the contract to plan the removal process, and the optimistic part of me is hoping that this is for the election and that the removal won't actually come to fruition, since the only real way to reduce congestion is by giving people options other than driving. On the procurement side of things, York Region Transit has ordered 80 electric buses from Nova Bus. Meanwhile, GO Transit has ordered at least 80 new coach buses from Motor Coach Industries. The model ordered, while accessible, likely won't include the low floor section that some MCI buses include. Kicking off the new year on January 1st, GO Transit's rail operations in southern Ontario were supposed to be transitioned away from Ulstom operations towards ONxpress. ONxpress is the consortium handling GO expansion, composed of major companies in the field such as Aecon, Ulstom, DB, and FCC. The transition has been postponed until October 4 of this year, so 9 months away. There hasn't been any reporting on this by any news outlets, the province, or Metrolinx, which is extremely surprising given that GO expansion is a huge multi-billion-dollar project bringing European quality regional rail to southern Ontario. It's unknown how much of an impact to the GO expansion timeline will be caused by this, but it's worrying that so little attention has gone into these delays. The start of the year has also meant new budgets for transit agencies, and in Windsor, the transit agency faced a $1.4 million budget cut, which also included removing the Detroit-Windsor Tunnel Bus. After advocacy to keep the vital international transit link, Windsor City Council voted in favor of keeping the tunnel bus, with 7 being in favor and only 4 against the choice. Windsor's mayor has vetoed City Council's decision, citing the potential tariffs between the United States and Canada as a reason why Windsor shouldn't be funding a route that benefits both countries. Removing the already pricey tunnel bus makes it impossible for transit riders to get between the two cities without a car. On January 6, Ottawa got 2 new rail lines, the Trillium Line, or Line 2, and the Airport Link, also known as Line 4. The lines greatly improve the rail network, although not without their challenges, like the long-delayed opening. Testing and operation have shown strong reliability, however travel time between the airport and downtown leave much to be desired, taking almost as much time as the bus, although it's a more comfortable ride. The phased opening of both lines is continuing, with Saturday service already added. I got a chance to ride both lines back in December and found the quality of the trains and stations to be far better than the Confederation line. A couple days after the opening in Ottawa, the city of Calgary presented their preferred plan for rail access to Calgary's International Airport. A final technical report should be shared with the provincial government by the end of the first quarter of 2025. The project is being done in collaboration with Alberta's government and some private rail operators to explore cost-sharing and future-proofing measures. The route being studied will include a new east-west rail line connecting the Green Line and the Blue Line extension, with intermediate stops, including one at the airport. The rail alignment will also allow for future regional rail, a direct downtown airport rail link, and connections to future high-speed rail projects. The next day, Premier Doug Ford announced that he was requesting Metrolinx to study GO 2.0, or the long-talked-about Missing Link project. The project would shift existing freight rail operations by Canadian National and Canadian Pacific Kansas City to a new bypass, removing freight trains from sections of the Kitchener and Milton GO lines. This would allow for increased service on both GO lines in addition to an expanded road network. However, building the missing link is still challenging. Highway 407 was designed with the ability for train tracks to be added onto the corridor in the future. However, modifications to the freight network would have to be taken on. Over on the west coast, Translink announced the stop locations for 2 of 3 proposed BRT routes in Surrey and Langley. The King George Boulevard BRT will include 12 stations, 2 connections to the Expo line, and replace the R1 Rapid Bus. The Langley-Haney Place BRT will have 13 stations and connect to the Surrey-Langley extension of the Expo line as well, which is currently under construction. The bus rapid transit routes are expected to include higher quality features for passengers and faster speeds over the existing rapid bus lines. Consultation for the 2 lines took place over the last couple of weeks, although the project is still unfunded. Funding needs to be secured from multiple levels of government, and once secured, Translink estimates it can open the lines within 5 years of a funding commitment. Back in Ontario, the Conservatives, Liberals, and NDPs have all promised to build Grimsby GO Station on the Lakeshore West Line between St. Catharines and Hamilton. The Ontario Liberal Party leader, Bonnie Crombie, announced plans to install platform edge doors on the Toronto subway. Not entirely for the right reasons, but platform edge doors would be a big win for safety and reliability on the network, although very expensive. Both the Conservative and NDP parties have talked about buying Highway 407 back and removing tolls as a way of reducing traffic. While the current Conservative government is also trying to build a tunnel under the 401 to add more lanes, tunneling under the world's widest highways simply isn't practical, and we all know that the one more lane bro mindset isn't working, so this would be a costly mistake. Removing tolls from the highways is another issue, as roads are expensive to maintain, and making them free actually encourages more driving, which will also increase traffic. While New York's congestion pricing has shown tolls encourage public transit use, and Ontario has a lot of public transit. Reducing congestion way more than more lanes or free driving will ever do. January was a clear indication that regional and national rail are making a comeback. Alberta is exploring ways to partner with private rail operators for better high-speed service. Travel between Toronto and Chicago might finally become a reality again, and while delayed, ONxpress and GO 2.0 will bring frequent electric regional rail service across southern Ontario, becoming arguably the best system on the continent. In the future, I hope to get these monthly recaps out closer to the end of the month. Hope to hear your thoughts. Thanks for watching.